Social music talk.
It is a spectacularly beautiful area here. It is not exaggerating.
Right.
So,
right. It's back to nature. Well, how about the power outages? Have you been affected by that at all?
yeah, last week they have what they call the PSPS, which is the what is it? Personal safety power shutoff. They're now when they are predicting a high wind event during fire season, they're now PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric, is now shutting off the power because a lot of the fires have started from PG&E's power lines. It's a whole big, stinking controversy. But
they've even
they've had these
admitted
power
it.
shutoffs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it's a crazy, complicated problem for which there is no easy solution in Northern California. But that's a whole other show. But they did have these power shutoffs, and we had one last week. The power was out for over 4 days.
Wow.
Now the station has, the state. We have
Backup
power shutoffs.
Generator, right?
We have power. Yeah, we have power outages up here anyway because it's winter storms and things like that.
Yeah.
So the station has a very, very nice generator, and whenever the power goes out, within a minute, we're back on the air. So we were fine. The station goes on the air, but it's one of those situations that I described earlier that the audience really depends on the coast for information, and these power shutdowns are challenging because the situation is fluid and it keeps changing with the weather conditions, and so PG&E will say the power is going to be shut off at this time for X amount of days, and then it changes. And so we're having to constantly get updates from them, and it's a real challenge to keep giving out the updated information. Luckily for me, my morning co-host Joe Rogalski is really the one who handles all of that.
Okay.
So when we're doing our morning show, my job is to run the show and play the music, and Joe handles the keeping the information straight. I mean, we obviously work together to do it, but it's nice to have somebody working with you who's fully focused on that during these.
And then
these things.
do you do the fun stuff?
Oh, Alex, it's so much fun. I'm anybody who's ever listened to me during my illustrious career knows I'm a pretty irreverent guy. So yeah, it's a fun show, and I'm a big fan of irreverence and absurdity. And I personally don't mind if somebody is listening and they're not quite sure what's going on. to me, that's interesting radio. I don't think every boss I've had has felt that way. But to Tom Yates' credit, he respects the fact that the people on the air there are experienced and they know what they're doing, and we have rules to follow, but it's a good working relationship because it respects my experience and trusts that I'll do the right thing. So yeah, it's fun in that way. Again, compared to working for a corporation where there's a lot of rules and there's a lot of things that you do seemingly just because that's what they say to do. It's nice to work someplace that has a little bit more of that feel of radio when the DJs were a little bit more in control.
Back in the day when a radio station was basically the conglomeration of its DJs who brought the programming to the show, right? It was typically a program director kind of set the framework and the DJ did the show.
Yeah, that as I understand it, I mean that is the way. I'm being kind of facetious, but that is the way it was when I started. But that was kind of the tail end of that, you know.
Yeah.
I sort of started at the tail end of that, and most of the places I've worked have been more the modern
program
framework, which is the program director, you know, decides what's going to be played, and there's a playlist that you follow, and you know there's variations on that theme. Some places are really strict, and you know, if you even were to deviate for a song, you'd be in trouble. Whereas others, it's a little bit looser. You know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
So I've been pretty fortunate. You know, I've worked at some really interesting places. The only place that I always wanted to work that I never got to was K-Rock.
Okay.
I always wanted to work at K-Rock in L.A. That I believe that door is closed. I don't think that they would look at me and think that I'm, you know, good for their target demo. But I got to work at Live 105, and I got to work at 91X, and I got to work at K-Fog, and I thought the radio career was over, but apparently it's not. So we'll see.
That's cool, man. You've been at some really cool, legendary stations, and you keep on going at a cool indie station where you get to play what you want, pretty much, right?
It's in combination with Tom and Kate. You know,
you got to play what's on the list, but you could fit in, you know, things that you think fit in, right?
Yeah, they don't freak out. I have to change things every morning. I have to move things around and change some things and play some things that aren't on there to make it fit, because we have to make sure that we get into the newscast at the right time. And you know, they don't freak out about things like that. If I have a good reason for doing something, that's fine.
That's cool. Indie radio lives on. Thank you very much for joining us, Dred Scott.
Thanks a lot for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Social music.